Taekook fan fiction, where he forced him roughly after getting jealous. The John family was known for their empire, built on generations of sweat, power, and calculated choices. And the latest crown bearer, Jungkook, was every bit of that legacy. Sharp, unflinching, and emotionally restrained, Jungkook was respected, feared, and utterly alone. His older brother, John Hoseok, had a brighter disposition. Married to Soo-jin, a fiery, cunning woman with a venom-laced smile, Hoseok lived a more social, flamboyant life, one that masked the growing chaos behind closed doors. One fateful day, during a medical checkup, Mr. John, the patriarch, met Kim Taehyung. He was the soft-spoken son of the family's trusted physician, a final-year medical student with warm eyes, delicate features, and a gentle voice that seemed to melt the steel of the old man's heart. "You're not married?" Mr. John asked. "No, sir," Taehyung replied, a little flustered. The old man leaned back, the wheels in his mind already turning. Neither Jungkook nor Taehyung was eager when the idea of marriage was brought up. Taehyung found it hard to imagine himself in the John estate, and Jungkook, emotionally unavailable and guarded, was hesitant about marrying someone he had never even touched. But something shifted when their families met over dinner. Jungkook watched the way Taehyung poured tea for the elders with such quiet respect. Taehyung, in turn, was surprised when Jungkook silently pulled out a chair for him, an act that felt uncharacteristically kind. So Mr. John asked Jungkook to be alone for a while with Taehyung in the garden, so the two will get at least a chance to talk to each other, to get to know each other. They agreed. So Jungkook felt a little awkward at first, but he gathered his strength, started to tell Taehyung about his liking and disliking. One of them was that Jungkook is extremely jealous about what he thinks it will be his. Taehyung felt a little uneasy at first, but he started to tell Jungkook about his studies and his habits. Taehyung mentioned that he would like for Jungkook to give him some time to feel more comfortable around him. "I'm sure you want some time too, right, Jungkook?" Taehyung asked. Jungkook replied, "Yes, sure, Taehyung, I agree." After chatting for a little more, they went inside the John's home to tell the good news about them agreeing to this marriage. The two families couldn't be happier. The proposal moved forward. Their engagement was short, and the wedding followed. A quiet yet lavish ceremony filled with cherry blossoms, respectful bows, and hesitant hands. The first few nights were silent. Jungkook didn't force closeness. He slept on one side of the bed, his presence calm and distant. He respected Taehyung's space, never asking for intimacy. His body longed for the warmth beside him. But he had promised himself Taehyung would come to him when ready. Taehyung noticed the restraint. Every night, he'd feel Jungkook's gaze trace his silhouette in the dark, only for him to roll over and stay quiet. "I'm not ready," Taehyung whispered one evening. Jungkook simply nodded. "I know." That earned Jungkook a soft glance. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad. The John mansion glowed that night with soft golden lights. Laughter, clinking glasses, and classical music drifted through the grand hall, where guests gathered to celebrate the newlywed couple, John Jungkook and Kim Taehyung. But beneath the beauty of the event, something poisonous brewed. John Hoseok's wife, Soo-jin, watched Taehyung like a predator. Her perfectly painted lips curled into a smirk as she subtly nodded to her brother, whom she had invited specifically for this moment. As planned, Taehyung had been guided into the private lounge under the pretense of needing help carrying a tray. Soo-jin's brother, tall and flirtatious, slipped inside after him, just moments before Jungkook entered and caught sight of the two standing too close. Taehyung with wide eyes, and the man holding his wrist in a helpful gesture. Soo-jin was quick. "He's been flirting with my brother behind your back, Jungkook," she said with a theatrical gasp loud enough for nearby ears. Even tonight of all nights. Jungkook's gaze burned with something unrecognizable. Hurt, betrayal, anger, and Taehyung felt it instantly. No, Jungkook, please, I don't even know him, he just... Shut up, Jungkook said through clenched teeth, gripping his wrist tightly. Taehyung flinched. Let's not do this here, Jungkook whispered darkly. You want to act like a husband? I'll show you what that means. The bedroom door slammed shut behind them. Taehyung stood by the bed, trembling. Please, don't look at me like that. Jungkook threw off his suit jacket, not bothering to answer. How long has this been going on? He growled. Have you been enjoying the attention you get behind my back? Taehyung's lips trembled. I didn't do anything. I waited for you. I respected this marriage even when I was scared. You said you'd wait until I was ready. That was before I found out you needed someone else's hands to feel wanted. Tears welled in Taehyung's eyes. Stop. Just stop. Please listen to me. But Jungkook didn't. He pulled Taehyung to the bed roughly. Not with love, not with tenderness, but with betrayal in his veins and anger in his hands. Taehyung's pleas were ignored. His first kiss was stolen through clenched teeth and resentment. The man who had once gently given him space now touched him without warmth, without asking. Taehyung begged, please, Jungkook, it hurts. But Jungkook's mind was clouded. Every word from Soojin, every planted doubt, echoed in his ears. He wasn't himself anymore. He whispered cruel things, accusations, jealousy, things he would never say in his right mind. Taehyung's tears soaked the pillow as pain tore through him, not just physical but soul deep. His heart cracked with every rough word, every emotionless touch. Something inside him broke, something he would never get back. When it was over, Jungkook rolled over, silent. The room was heavy with tension, soaked in betrayal. Taehyung curled into himself. His body ached. His heart ached more. He didn't speak. Jungkook didn't either. But after looking at Taehyung's body full of bite marks, remembering how he entered Taehyung so roughly, raw and without no remorse, how he found the bedsheet stained with Taehyung's blood, he felt guilty only inside his heart, but his pride did not allow him to show it. Actually, he went further on hurting Taehyung by saying, "See what you made me do? Maybe this was a perfect punishment for you to know who you belongs to." Taehyung was crying silently and did not answer. For almost 2 weeks, Taehyung lived like a prisoner. Jungkook, filled with guilt but too proud to speak, kept him inside. He told himself it was protection, but in truth, he was afraid Taehyung would leave. Taehyung didn't scream. He didn't cry where Jungkook could see. He simply stopped. He stopped eating much, stopped laughing, stopped looking Jungkook in the eyes. He was present, but hollow. Every night, he curled up on the farthest edge of the bed. Sometimes he sobbed silently, biting into the sheets to muffle the sound. And Jungkook heard him, but didn't move. He didn't know how to say sorry. He didn't know how to undo what he had done. One cold morning, Jungkook woke up to an empty side of the bed and silence in the house. Taehyung was gone. No note, no goodbye. He had returned to the Kim household. His mother and father didn't know why he cried himself to sleep. He wouldn't tell them. Only Jimin, his best friend, noticed the pain behind his soft voice and haunted eyes. Taehyung was barely functioning. His classmates whispered about how quiet and frail he had become. But only Jimin pushed enough to find the truth. When he did, he stormed into John Enterprises that same day. "John Jungkook." Jimin's voice thundered through the marble halls, interrupting a meeting in front of Hoseok. "You touch him like that, without listening to a single word? Do you know what you did to him? You broke him. You destroyed him." Jungkook stood frozen. Hoseok's brows furrowed. What is he talking about? You believe your snake of a sister-in-law, Jimin snarled. And Taehyung paid the price. You lost the best thing that ever happened to you. As Jimin stormed out, Hoseok remained behind, stunned. Until later that night, when he overheard Soo-jin gloating over a phone call, laughing about how easy it had been to destroy that little husband and shift the family's love. Hoseok lost it. He went straight to Jungkook. She set you up. Everything was a lie. Taehyung was innocent. Jungkook's world tilted. His knees gave out. It was too late. Or was it? Time skip in pain. The air outside the Kim residence was quiet, but Jungkook's heart was roaring with guilt as he stood at their gate for the third day in a row. He had rung the bell. He had sent flowers, letters, text messages. But no one came to the door, because inside, behind the soft curtains of Taehyung's room, lay a boy with swollen eyes and a soul too broken to open the door. Tell him to go away, Taehyung whispered to Jimin, curled up on the couch in a thick blanket. You don't even want to talk to him once? Jimin asked softly. Taehyung's eyes, rimmed with red, met Jimin's. I begged him. That night, I cried, I screamed, and he didn't stop. And now he wants to talk. On the fourth evening, Jungkook came again. This time, Jimin opened the gate and walked him in silently. Taehyung was in the living room, arms crossed, looking away. I'll leave you both, Jimin muttered. But Jungkook couldn't move. His knees buckled at the sight of Taehyung, so fragile, so pale. His skin, once glowing with joy, now looked ghost-like, and his eyes held the kind of pain Jungkook could never forgive himself for. I'm sorry, Jungkook began, stepping closer. Don't, Taehyung snapped, standing. His voice cracked. Don't you dare come here, saying sorry. Sorry won't erase that night. Sorry won't bring back my trust. Sorry won't stop the nightmares where I wake up screaming. Hey, no, Taehyung shouted, voice shaking. You were supposed to protect me. I waited. I respected our marriage. I gave you space. I gave you time. And what did you give me? You stole my first kiss and destroyed my first night like it meant nothing. Jungkook's eyes filled with tears. I was blinded. I was stupid. I let someone poison my mind. You didn't even give me a chance to explain. Taehyung pointed his finger at him, his whole body trembling. You looked at me like I was disgusting. I died that night, Jungkook. He turned away. Leave. Just leave. Jungkook tried to say more, but Jimin was there, standing in the doorway. He said leave, and Jungkook did, but not forever. Weeks passed. Jungkook didn't stop trying. He sent food every day to the Kim household. He paid off Taehyung's remaining semester tuition without his knowledge. He called Jimin every few days just to check on him. Still, Taehyung refused to speak to him. Until one rainy night, Jungkook saw Taehyung coming out of the hospital campus, carrying too many books under his arm. Without thinking, he pulled up and offered a ride. Taehyung stared at him, soaking in rain. I'm not getting in your car. I brought you a coat, Jungkook said quietly, holding it out. You'll catch cold. Taehyung took the coat silently. After a couple of days, Hoseok called Taehyung and convinced him to come to meet up supposedly with him. Taehyung did not know it was a dinner with Jungkook. When he came to see Hoseok, he was shocked to see Jungkook waiting for him at the table inside a quiet restaurant. Taehyung immediately turned out to leave, but Jungkook held his wrist, and he spoke softly. Taehyung, please don't leave. Please just hear me out. Just this time, Jungkook begged with pleading eyes. Taehyung looked annoyed at him, but he did not want to create a scene in front of people. So he sat across from Jungkook, looking down, trying not to make eye contact with Jungkook, which made Jungkook sad, but what he expected. Taehyung will hold his hand, smile at him. Jungkook was silent at first, but finally he spoke. There are no words that I can say will help ease your pain, Taehyung. I know I was blind. I know I stole every beautiful thing you owned, your virginity, your first dream about having a perfect, loving husband. Jungkook continued. If you just give me another chance, I will try my best to gain back your trust. I'll try to bring back the good visions of a future loving life with you. I promise to do anything in my power just to make you trust me again. Please? Taehyung looked painfully into his eyes, almost tears threatening to flow out of his innocent eyes. Jungkook held his both hands and kissed them. He brought Taehyung to his chest, hugging him. He just held him closely to his heart. They both stayed silent. After what felt a year, finally Taehyung pulled back. He looked at Jungkook and said to him, "Take me home, Jungkook. Take me to that bedroom where all my bad memories with you started. I wanted to face my fears. I wanted to try to forget the pain I felt." Jungkook heart broke for Taehyung's words. It was emotional, but at least he gave him another chance. Jungkook couldn't be happier. When they arrived home, the family were very happy to see Taehyung back, but sure Soojin wasn't there. Hosea kicked her back to her family house after what she did to Taehyung. It was weeks before Taehyung agreed to step back into the Jungkook's bedroom. He didn't sleep in Jungkook's room. He slept in the guest room. Sometimes Jungkook would peek at him, sleeping restlessly. Sometimes Taehyung would flinch in his dreams. And then one night, Jungkook heard it, screaming. Taehyung screaming in his sleep. Don't hurt me. Jungkook, please, please." Jungkook ran to his room and found him drenched in sweat, curled up like a child. "Hey, it's me. Jungkook said, heartbreaking. Taehyung looked up with glassy eyes. "I thought you were done hurting me." And Jungkook cried. He crawled onto the bed and held Taehyung close, whispering, "I'll never touch you unless you want me to. I'll wait another lifetime. I'll never hurt you again." A few weeks later, Taehyung hesitantly allowed Jungkook to hold him more. The first time Jungkook kissed him again, it was soft, trembling. Taehyung pulled back. "I'm not ready." "I know," Jungkook said gently. "Just tell me when." He tried again another night, slowly brushing his fingers against Taehyung's waist, his lips against his shoulder. But again, Taehyung flinched. Jungkook backed away immediately. "I love you too much to rush it." It took 5 trials, 5 nights of inching close, of holding back tears, of proving his patience. Until one quiet night, under soft candlelight in their room, Taehyung placed his hand on Jungkook's chest and whispered, "I want to try tonight. With love." Jungkook lit the room in warm gold. He undressed Taehyung with trembling hands, kissing each mark of past pain. "Tell me if you want to stop." Taehyung cupped his face. "I trust you this time." Their bodies came together slowly, breaths shared, foreheads touching. There was no pain, only warmth, moans of love, fingers locked, lips tracing every scar. Jungkook whispered, "You're beautiful. You're safe. You're mine." Taehyung arched into him, whispering his name. No tears this time, only surrender, only healing, only love. They stayed awake after, skin against skin, hearts beating as one. And Taehyung finally smiled. Thanks for watching my purples. Please come back for more. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel.